Ice Nine Kills, and it is set to be one of the heaviest, I think, Sonic Temple lineups in some time, and they have plenty more bands to announce. 4-day GA weekend stadium passes for you. The whole thing is the 8th through the 11th of May. You can go to sonictemplefestival.com for all the details and tickets. Caller 10, these are yours. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Yeah, it seems a little unfair that you can watch our live stream, but we can't see you. But we'll fix that tonight. Outside your window.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Not doing our metal show Saturday night. Taking the week off from 2 hours to midnight. But we will return next Saturday, the 12th. We are also going to get preempted this coming Monday for Guardians playoff baseball. They've announced the times for the first handful of games. Saturday, that first game is going to be a 1:08 first pitch. Your coverage begins 30 minutes prior here on MMS. And then Monday, Game 2, those first two games around the corner here at Progressive Field. Game 2 will start pregame 3:35, first pitch, against either the Tigers or the Astros. That remains to be seen who the opponent will be. But Monday afternoon, we will step aside, make way for Guardians playoff baseball. Your first pitch on Monday is at 4:08 p.m., and then we will return on Tuesday. I don't know what the remainder of that schedule looks like, but they've laid out the first 3 days of games, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday there. A lot of people excited about Metallica at Sonic Temple. Brian called. He was singing Metallica when he called in.
Great is of sanity, hear them calling me.
He sounds exactly like James Hetfield. I hope that... you'll see videos. Sometimes bands are in concert and there'll be some fan in the front there. They'll bring them up. A lot of times it's a kid who's, a drummer. Put him behind the kid at a Green Day show or something. Maybe we can get Brian on stage with Metallica. We have that kind of pull? Probably not.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You never believed in me, Mary. I don't know where that comes from, but you never...
I don't know, man.
Never believed in me. Did you watch the debate last night?
I did.
And thoughts?
I did not.
I thought a lot of things, Alan. No, I thought it was a very nice, civil, polite debate. I liked it. I was like, dude, is this what debates were like before Donald Trump was screaming over everybody? Like this, it felt refreshing.
Well, these guys, there was
civil.
There was nothing on the line for these guys.
But still, nobody was talking over one another. Nobody was name calling. Nobody was cutting it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I haven't watched a normal debate in 10 years.
I guess so. I mean, I certainly didn't consider it normal. I mean, J.D. Vance that's a dangerous dude, boy. Tim Walz was too nice. I think last night was the night he should have kind of come knives out a little bit. But
I don't know if he has it in him, dude.
Well, you're going to need some of that. I mean, J.D. Vance, puts a really nice, polished face on some real vile stuff. And so it came across as nice.
I meant nice between the two.
No, I understand. They were very cordial.
Yes, that's what I meant. No, but I mean, what he was saying, yeah, definitely. I mean, Tim
well,
Walz.
just from the jump, though, when Tim Walz was saying nuclear, I was like, oh, no.
I tweeted that. I was like, no, not nuclear. Come on.
People used to make fun of,
George W. Bush. That was a big
Bush
thing,
for nuclear and Tim Walz nuclear.
Well, and I cracked out. I laughed out loud when Tim Walz went over his time, and she was like, "Governor, we're out of time." And he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I was like, "Dude, how can you hate this guy? How can
Minnesota
you hate
nice.
this guy?"
Well, it took almost it was really the very end. Nobody had like a viral moment or a knockout punch or anything. But Tim Walz at the very end talking about like, hey, this is why Mike Pence isn't up here, right? Because Trump told people to go kill the last guy, so that's why you're up here, J.D. Vance. Because, when he asked him at the end, do you believe that Trump lost the election? And J.D. because he can't say yes.
He was like, you guys kicked people off Facebook. Let's talk about censorship.
Right. Whatever the hell that meant.
That was his response.
Right. I don't even know why they're continuing with this charade, by the way. Even Trump finally admitted he lost. I don't know why J.D. Vance has to go up there and pretend that Trump didn't lose the election. I don't know why that's still the third rail of Republican politics. I don't get it. But, and again, the stakes were zero for these guys. I know J.D. Vance was whining when they were fact-checking him, but, but he put a very nice, cordial face to a lot of ridiculous things. Well, and so anybody watching, you already know who your guy is. And whoever your guy is, people think that's who won. Fox and Friends this morning, they were baffled that the polling results from last night were even. Because obviously they think that J.D. Vance wiped the floor with Tim Walz. And I'm like, yeah, now you know how we feel when we read that somehow Trump and Kamala Harris are in a dead heat. Yeah. Welcome to the party, pal. How they're sitting there going, how are these two in it? But again, nobody runs for vice president. And so their comments obviously were for the top of the ticket. The reason you can keep it cordial is because these two dudes aren't going to be making policy. They don't have to answer for anything, right? They're going to be the vice president. And so they're not on the hook for anything. So it's easy to keep it cordial.
I mean, to your point about him putting a nice face on, I don't know if it's because he's so much younger than the other three, but it felt like he was very put together, not over-rehearsed. Like, he looks and sounds good on camera. J.D. Vance does. I'm not saying what
I didn't realize
saying.
he was as young as he is.
He said he was 40.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that reminded me.
He
I think
just turned 40. He was 39
I think
when
so.
they announced,
I think he's like the youngest vice presidential candidate ever, maybe. But yeah, that's the thing. There are a couple of terms that have really blown up in the Trump era. One of them is unhinged. That word gets used a lot. And now you see this word sane washing. You'll see this in a lot of articles. And sane washing basically means like taking Trump's mendacious word salads and vile commentary and paraphrasing them in a way that pretends that he's somehow actually making a lot of sense. And that's kind of what J.D. Vance was doing last night. He was very calmly and quietly like gaslighting women on abortion.
Yes.
And lying about Trump tried to save Obamacare. And people are like, are you insane? He most definitely did not. He tried repeatedly to kill Obamacare. What are you talking about?
My big issue that I took with the whole abortion thing was that he was like, it should be governed by the states. People believe things in different states. And, Texas believes very differently than Oregon does or whatever he said. And then, like, in the next argument, he was saying that families should have choices and that they're going to try to make health care or child care more affordable and there to be more options. And what blew me away was that I was like, okay, so you do believe in a woman's right to choose, just not when she starts her family. She should be forced to start a family and then you get options.
Except they won't give you any options. Those aren't people looking.
Saying.
Right, of course. But that's not a party looking to budget more for child care. Once the kid gets squeezed out, you're on your own.
Yeah.
But he's also on record like there should be a national abortion ban. So it's
he wouldn't answer that question last
Well, of course
night.
not.
They asked him
it's like when they asked him about
times.
They asked him about climate change. They're like, okay, so your guy says, talking about Trump. They're like, you're going to be Trump's vice president if he wins. He thinks climate change is a hoax. What do you think? And he's like, well.
Did they ask him why Trump doesn't have the same vice president as when he was president?
What do you mean?
Like, why was this spot available?
Well, no, that's what I said a few minutes ago. I'm like, Tim Walz towards the end was like, that's why you're here.
Yeah.
Because, they were trying to hang Mike Pence because your guy said that the election was stolen.
There was one other thing that he said that I was like,
but yeah, it was cordial. I mean, but again, there were zero stakes. I like that Margaret Brennan. She looked a little strange last night, but she hosts Face the Nation, and she's been with CBS for a long time. But I think she's pretty cute. I think that Norah O'Donnell's foxy, too.
There was another policy thing that I can't remember. Oh, when he kept saying that we need to turn to common sense instead of experts, that J.D. Vance repeatedly said that experts shouldn't be trusted when it comes to healthcare. And Tim Walz straight up turned around and was like, no. On our side, we trust physicians and we trust women. And he kept, quoting things from the Mayo Clinic and saying, this is why Minnesota's #1 in healthcare, because we trust experts. And a couple of times, J.D. Vance was like, we don't need to listen to experts. We need to get back to, he kept calling it common sense theory or something like that. But essentially saying, no, these doctors and lawyers and people who've put in tens of thousands of hours doing what they're doing, well, it doesn't really make sense. So let's think about what actually makes sense.
Well, that's laying the groundwork for if those guys win, where they just blow out all kinds of federal agencies and people who know things and things like that. But again, that the common sense phrase, that's like a folksy thing that everybody uses because they know most people in their own brains have their own sense of what that is, right? And people go, common sense solutions. Everybody's kind of like, I kind of have a vague idea of what you're talking about. But, yeah, I don't know. I would have liked to have seen Tim Walz be a little bit, put J.D. Vance a little bit more on his heels.
I didn't even expect that. It's just not who he is. They agreed. I felt like the two of them were, or at least saying, I agree with what he said, but blah, 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 blah. It was very polite.
I just think it's wild that J.D. Vance is a senator from Ohio, and he has made life awful for people there in Springfield because they kept pushing the whole immigrants eating people's pets thing.
Well, Tim Walz called him out on that last night.
I know. But it's kind of like that was still a passing thing. I mean, I'm sure that's the one thing that everybody was kind of had at the forefront of their minds. But, yeah, it was all right. It was fine. I don't think anybody was expecting fireworks.
No, but I do think, like I said, J.D. Vance does very well in front of a camera. I think he was.
As long as he's not ordering donuts.
So does he wear eyeliner or does he just look like that?
I think he just looks like
that.
that.
I think he just looks like that. I got a friend that looks like that too. And it's like he's a comedian and on stage I'm like, is he wearing eyeliner? No,
so it's just a pigment thing on there?
He just got real thick
real dark eyelashes.
Yeah. I was reading about, if you were a mail carrier, it used to be that you only had to worry about dogs. Things have gotten so contentious for a lot of people now that you got to worry. There was a guy in Michigan. This is Farmington Hills. This is suburban Detroit.
Right by Royal Oak.
Yeah. Who assaulted a mail carrier because the mail carrier was just in the guy's mail was a Harris for President mailer. We all get these, right? You're going to get Sherrod Brown. You're going to get Bernie Moreno. You're going to get.
It's like attacking someone. Like, I don't want these Arby's coupons.
or just a random catalog or something. The penny saver punches the guy in the face. Yeah.
You think I want this Kohl's Cash? Get out of here.
Value pack.
Do they send that in the mail, Kohl's Cash?
Oh, yeah.
I don't ever. All my mail's junk mail, but I don't get anything like that. I get the Val pack. From whatever mailing lists I was on 20 years ago, I still get a lot of clothing catalogs and things. A 61-year-old guy was charged with assaulting his mail carrier. And, of course, I want you to brace yourself. There's no small amount of racism involved in the whole thing. What a shock. He was really, really mad. He said he didn't want that black bitch in his mailbox. And then he called the mail carrier a black bitch and threatened her, and she sprayed him with pepper spray because unfortunately she had to.
And that's how you season a white.
And she so she called it in or something, and they the guy, I don't know if he started trying to get away through the neighborhood or he was stumbling around, I don't know, somebody found him, and the cops came and they took him into custody. But Jesus, these mail carriers, they're like, this is not a glamorous.
She didn't hand pick it.
Right, and this is not a glamorous job, all right? Just can I please just put this stuff in your mailbox? I wonder if he tips at Christmas. I should get a tip. What?
No.
You don't think so?
I would say probably
Hey,
not.
sorry for the black bitch stuff. Oh.
Speaking of bitches, how about some picks?
Oh, right. Whoopsie.
Doing that right now?
Yeah.
I mean, we got that.
He's got week 5. Whoopsie's got week 5 picks. Let me find my thing here.
Okay.
Football all the way, football all the way. Yeah, wouldn't you say? Football all the way, football all the way, football all the way. Yeah, wouldn't you say? Football all the way.
All right, so what is the preamble here? You said there was a
All
little
right.
bonus this week.
Well, she's got a little, she's got a referee's outfit this week that my girlfriend got her, and it's very cute. She is currently 10-10, so exactly 500. Last week she went 2-3, so we'll see what she does this week.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
And she picks 5 games a week.
5 games a week,
Including the Browns
always
game.
the Browns game. Yeah,
They are playing the D.C. Commanders this weekend, right? On Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, last week, Whoopsie went 2-3, bringing her total to 10-10. Yeah, we're playing. All right, she's got her referee's uniform.
Yeah, for people who aren't watching, we have the miniature football helmets. Bill puts a treat in front of each one. Whichever one she eats first is her pick.
Yeah.
today. All right, make your choice. Come on. Falcons over Buccaneers.
Falcons over the Buccaneers.
Yep.
Under your bucking hat.
Come on.
This is Jets v. Vikings.
Yeah, Jets Vikings. She went Jets.
Jets beating Minnesota. Oh,
That's Aaron Rodgers, yeah?
Jets, Aaron Rodgers versus Sam Darnold, who used to
Right.
play, was drafted originally by the Jets.
The Jets, right.
That's going to be a little revenge for the Jets against Arnold. Come on.
Texans over the Bills.
Texans over the Bills. That should be a good game. I think those are two
right.
3-1 teams.
Steelers,
This is Steelers-Cowboys.
Yeah, this is a Sunday night game. Steelers Cowboys.
Cowboys, Sunday night game.
Classic 70s matchup.
Come on. Cowboys.
Cowboys over the Steelers,
Yeah.
all right? And finally, Browns-Commanders.
I don't know if you noticed there's a little bit of a pattern here.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think she's
Final
taking
game.
this serious.
Browns, Commanders. Come on. Come on. And
She picks
these
DC
5
over the
picks.
Browns.
Lock them in. Falcons,
Washington.
Jets, Texans, Cowboys, Commanders.
Holy mackerel. All right, well, there you go. Bet accordingly.
And I, always do like a $10 parlay on all the picks that she makes. So this week, $10 will get me like 200. Let's see what it was. Come on. I hate that they always log you out on these stupid betting apps.
In case someone grabs your phone, they don't spend all your money.
I get it, but it's still annoying. 200 so $10 will pay out $272 if she wins. That would be nice, because so far has not had a perfect week. Came very close the first week, but I don't know, with some of these picks. I don't think, like, the Jets, not a good pick there, especially in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're overseas. I forgot about that.
The Jets and the Vikings are playing where?
They're playing in England.
Rome or so? Oh, okay.
London, I believe.
All right.
I forgot that's a London game.
So it's like 11 in the morning their time or something like that?
It starts, Sunday at it starts at 9:30 a.m. our time. So it's like
What?
the evening there.
Oh, evening there, yeah. Okay. Jets, Vikes. Well, that's an exciting weekend. Of course, the Cox Out pregame, I'm going to be in Strongsville this Sunday, noon to 2, going to be a place called the Local Bar with Bud Light. So when the Browns are on the road, 3 Cox Outs in a row, by the way. Last Sunday, this, and the next Sunday. So Browns, D.C., we're going to watch the game there at the Local Bar in Strongsville. You got a shot to get to Vegas with this Bud Light football thing that we're playing. And so it'll be fun. I've never been to the Local Bar, so I'm looking forward to it. So if that's in your neck of the woods there in Strongsville, come out on Sunday. Guardians, one of the teams dropped by Diamond Sports Group, by the way. I don't think this is a big shock. They've been talking about this for a minute. I think it might have just been made official, but Bally Sports is owned by a company called Diamond Sports Group, and they declared bankruptcy. And they were going to drop a handful of teams. So the Guardians will need a new television partner.
I believe that the ideas that I heard bounced around is that they'd be on Amazon.
Well, they have a lot more possibilities than they would have even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So Diamond their only baseball partnership will be with the Atlanta Braves. They dropped the Brewers, Twins, Rangers, Reds, Tigers, Royals, Angels, Marlins, Cardinals, and Tampa Bay Rays.
And I imagine they'll be dropping basketball teams too, right?
I mean, you're just, you're.
Because the Cavs are on Bally Sports, and that's probably going to get moved somewhere else.
Yeah. So, again, this has been on the wind for a while, but they have officially gone that route. I'm going to take a break here. I will have more money for you. 4:30 is your second to last chance today to win $1,000 courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. Is John Brown coming in? Yeah, he's here. Comedian John Brown is here. We'll chat with him after the break. He is headlining a show at the Funny Stop tomorrow night in Cuyahoga Falls. You want to text me for anything, 35192. You can listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
From the Mr. Hero Waffle Doodle. Weather Center.
WMMS weather.
Clear sky tonight, down to 47.